All right, Marty here, and this is the J24 Worlds race number 3, first day, second day, first race, second day. Very light conditions in the forecast was 6, 7, 8 knots max at a 90 to 120 degree angle, but when we got out there it was actually a little bit right of that, but still very, very light throughout the process. But here we go, top boat, Angel and Velocidad, then you got Bangor, Tony Parker there, and you can kind of go through. Here's Rossi in 14th and go through the list here. So we're going to go over now to the race, and we'll come back to the details later. I'll leave that to the end. And let's look. This was actually, I thought, a very tough day, and it'll be interesting to, I think everybody kind of struggled a little bit today with the conditions a little bit here. So let me see what the start time is here. So we're starting right here at 10:05. And I have, again, the line's kind of just generally pulled in here a little bit. Maybe, let me just adjust this just a little bit up here, a little bit for Rossi. You can kind of see here. And let me look at the other side here. Pull this one down a little bit. This one's a little bit high. You can see where people ping it. You know exactly where it is by the pings and how people go around. So little guys, a little sag in the middle. You can tell right here is about where the midline boat was. So there was a little sag in the line, and we saw that when we talked about it on our boat, that we knew the midline boat was a little bit saggish, but at the end of the day, I didn't think it, we wanted to just kind of have a clean start in here, and turned out to be just fine for us. So, okay, let me slow this down a little bit. Oh, that was a general recall one, right? Yep, we had a general recall one. Okay. Let's see when this one starts. Right there. Let me back up just a little bit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam. Bam. So there's the start of that race. And again, little midline sag at the end of the day. All right, and we'll play this out now a little bit. If we look upwind a little bit, what did we see? A little righty over here. As you can tell, wind's all over the place. And I think that was the difficulty today, was it wasn't really you had to be left, you had to be right. You had to really try to find the breeze and just kind of make it work. We'll see kind of who does. So we did well. So, if you're out of this group, Angel is the boat that ends up doing very well with the group here. Coming back a little bit on the shift. I'll speed it up a little bit here. And I think strategically, it was one of the days I wasn't sure what was going to happen. And it's hard to reduce tax when the shifts and the puffs in the different areas. I mean, and you can look at all the tacks that everybody did here. And, in the 24, it's very costly. But, man, it is so hard to try to manage a shift a little bit. Or do you take a tack and give up a boat length and a half? And I think that was a decision that I made in the second race, which was actually turned out to be too many tacks. But you can see here what happens is the left actually we get a lefty up in here, but look, reaching in, reaching in, reaching in. So at the top of the race course in the first beat, the left did pay a little bit, but man, you had to get out there and pay the price for it. I think the last race is going to be the harder one of the group here to take a look at. So we'll speed this up a little bit. Downwind. So this is a 5-legger. Long race, super long race. They moved the winter mark and shortened it a little bit. No, that's actually the finish. We go to the same mark, but we finish shorter. Speed this up a little bit. Today was just, trying to connect the dots with a breeze, trying to figure out what the pattern was. I struggled a lot today, just trying to make it all. Let me slow this down here a little bit. The lure gait seems to be pretty even side to side here. Velocidad really was trying to make the left work, and they did. They did even though they sailed through a lot of bad air. Look at the angle here, the pressure here. So you could almost say that the first race, the left was a little positive over the right side of the race course. But it also depended where exactly you were. You had to be in the pressure. You're in the pressure, looked very strong there. You would say that the wind's gone a little bit left here. I'm sorry, a little bit right here. Super hard day. I'm sure everybody was really hard to find a lane, hard to just go straight because of the shifts and the pressure changes. If I had to do today over again, I couldn't tell you what the right formula was, and that's what I always do. I always sit back and look at the day and say, okay, if I had to resail that race, what would I have done differently today? Jeez, I don't know. I mean, just tough. Pressure wasn't necessarily everything, but it really is important. Okay, we decide to go the other gate, trying to protect the left a little bit. Let's see how, or actually Velocidad, he sailed through a lot of bad air. We decided not to because of the fleet was so heavily covering over there. They still have us ahead on the tracker here a little bit. We get a nice lane coming back. They don't have the boat actually, to lure to them, lost a lot of boats behind Velocidad. And we come back and we just protect a little bit of the right, just trying to make sure the pressure on the right. But today it really it seemed like the left, even though it didn't look good initially, the left pulled you back across. If you crossed at the right time out of the left, you did pretty well. I mean, Babalouie trying to get out of here really hard, lots of tacks, super hard to do. Okay, let me show the analytics and some details, and you can look at that.